everybody? Where's everybody? Change of plans.
I'm here.
Change of plans tonight. Mark's here.
Small applause tonight.
Yeah. We'll wait till people show up. We are guestless tonight because our guest has lost his voice. So Dylan Island has lost his voice, so we're going to reschedule that. That's the only problem when you plan to do something live like this. Because when you do it live, if someone can't make it, then you're stuck. So we're not stuck because you're stuck with this wonderful bunch.
Just us.
So the free for all. This is our first one with just the three of us, is it? Or did we do the first? No, did we have a guest the first night?
This is the first one.
This is the first
one. Just us three.
Yep. So if you're out there, you can. I'm actually going to go in and do. You guys can talk for a sec. I'm just going to go in and do the share. That's what I promised.
To who? So, what's new?
Hey. Oh, I know what I gotta do.
I have no idea what he's doing.
Hey, everybody. We're changing plans tonight. Our guest is sick tonight. Dylan Island is sick, so you're stuck with us, which means it's going to be a little bit more chaotic because we don't have to behave ourselves for a guest. So
and we have audio tonight, right, Mark?
And we have audio, yes.
Huh? Can everybody hear everybody?
Oh, my goodness. I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to I was trying to do something. So how is everybody? Guys, comments if you're watching and you have questions for us. If you we'll let you ask anything. Not necessarily going to answer.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Mark is going to do the This Week in Music. We could actually get going with This Week in Music. We could do that. We could do that. So fiery. What happened first this week in music?
What happened first this week in music? Oh, well, first of all, let's do the theme song.
Week in.
That makes great sense that you have it.
It didn't finish. We got problems already.
What happened?
I have no idea what happened.
Oh my!
Doesn't matter. Let's get on with it. This week in 1962, the first Beatles recording took place at Abbey Road Studios. They recorded 4 tracks, one of which was "Love Me Do," and the 4 musicians received payments of $12.07 each.
Wow.
For the sessions.
They invested. Yeah. They invested that well, though.
Totally.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's actually more than I got for my first album.
Yep. Let's see. In 1964, the Rolling Stones played their first ever live date in the U.S. when they appeared at the Swing Auditorium in California, supporting their first album. 2 nights later, on June 7th in 1964, they were booed off the stage at a gig in San Antonio, Texas. So they didn't start too well in the U.S.
I know what it's like.
They had a rough tour. And in 1965, on June 6th, the Rolling Stones released the single "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." Went on to be number 1, and it was only originally played on pirate radio stations because its lyrics were considered too sexually aggressive. Believe it or not. Let's see here. The Kinks. Ray Davies from the Kinks. The song "Lola." 1970, Ray Davies was forced to make a 6,000-mile round trip from New York to London to re-record the line Coca-Cola to Cherry Cola for the forthcoming single "Lola" because there was advertising bans on BBC Radio and they could not say Coca-Cola. So he got on a plane, traveled all the way, said Cherry Cola, and then went back. Can't do it like you can these days, I guess.
Can you say Coca-Cola today? Can you sing a song with Coca-Cola in it?
I have no idea.
I guess they could shut you down.
You couldn't in 1970. This is a good one. This is a famous story. In 1975, on June 5th, during recording sessions for the Pink Floyd album "Wish You Were Here" at Abbey Road Studios, ex-Floyd founding member Syd Barrett turned up. Out of the blue, while the band was listening to playbacks of the song Shine On You Crazy Diamond, a song that happened to be about Barrett. By the time the 29-year-old Barrett, he had shaved off all his hair, including his eyebrows, was overweight, and he was unrecognized by the band. Nobody knew who he was. It was one of the engineers pointed out, said, "Hey, I think that's Sid back there." Nothing was said. He eventually left, and the band never saw him again.
I saw that in a documentary, actually. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and apparently I've heard that he carried a toothbrush in his pocket too, and would just brush his teeth every once in a while for no reason. I don't know.
Our daughter probably does that. She's a dental hygienist.
Oh, there you go.
She has a.
Oh, here's a good one. On June 5th, 1977, Alice Cooper was feeding his boa constrictor, which was a co-star of his live act, and the snake suffered a fatal bite from the rat that it was being fed for breakfast.
A rat bit the snake.
Yes, rat 1, boa constrictor 0.
We should do some stuff. Maybe Tim could get a snake. Could be part of the show. Wrap it around your neck while we're doing this.
We could have a zoo segment on the show, and we could feed animals and maybe have some.
Yeah, free the animals.
Anyway, so Alice Cooper went on and he held auditions for a replacement, believe it or not. And a snake named Angel got the gig. So you got to be a special type of snake if you want to perform with Alice Cooper. June 7th, 1977, all
that talk about the massage table earlier.
That's a bike, guys.
Oh, my God.
Led Zeppelin.
I look stoned. I look stoned.
Yes, you do.
I got sun. I got so much sun in the last 2 days. It looks like I'm stoned. It's like 1970. Oh, my God. I feel I'm tired.
Well, this story is from 1977. You would have fit right in here. Led Zeppelin played the first of 6 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden in New York City during their 11th and final North American tour, playing a 3-hour set. Tickets ranged from $8.50 to $10.50. Can you believe that?
Well, that's what they are now, except you pay the $300 service charge, don't you?
well, right, yeah. There's no ticket inflation prices. It's just all those bloody service charges. Let's see. June 4th, 1984, Bruce Springsteen released Born in the USA, the classic Born in the USA. And I still have my copy right here. Can you see this?
Oh, I thought you were going to start playing it on the guitar.
No.
I have my copy. I have my copy on the wall, I think. Yeah. Good album. Good album.
Great album. It went on to become the best-selling album of '85 and Springsteen's most successful album. It also produced a record-tying 7 top 10 singles, tied with Michael Jackson's Thriller and Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814. Let's see here.
And Courtney, can't remember Courtney Fox. Is it Courtney? Who was the one from the girl from Friends?
Yeah, Courtney Cox.
That was all. Oh, Courtney Cox.
Oh, yeah. Courtney Cox doing Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah,
in the video.
Jumped up in the video.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I also remember people were very upset when they found out that it was an actress hired to get up on stage and dance with
or
him.
all the American patriots realized the song was actually about taking a shot at the United States, and it wasn't like all these guys that are running for office playing Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, realizing it's just a shot at them. Oh, you idiots. Read the frickin' lyrics.
Let's see here. Okay, we got a couple more here. On June 7th, 1995, Radiohead guitarist Johnny Greenwood was admitted to hospital after his ear started leaking blood. The problem was diagnosed as his arm movement from continuous guitar playing.
Hold on. Ed Rispoli, what?
Yeah,
we should mention that. This week in music, our drummer from way back was out cutting down a tree in his backyard, and a mayfly flew right in his ear, and he had to go to the hospital and have it pulled out. I think it was 2 days ago. So Ed, if you're listening with your other ear tonight, we're thinking of you.
Poor Ed.
Poor Ed.
He had it flushed 5 times, I think.
Yeah, flushed.
Oh,
I've had that situation before with the toilet. I don't know, not my ear though. I had to flush it 5 times. Those mayflies, I tell you.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, poor Ed. Poor Ed's at the
Good Lord. And finally, in 2003, Barry Manilow suffered a broken nose after he accidentally walked into a wall at his home in Palm Springs, California, and knocked himself unconscious for 4 hours. How fast was this guy walking?
Was this before he wrote all the hits or after? I don't know.
2003 must be after.
I'm trying to think of a song that. Yeah, definitely after. Definitely.
I don't know.
It's probably because he had so much plastic surgery done. His eyes you couldn't see, look down.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know. That's got to be a pretty hard.
I'm trying to think of one of his songs. Copacabana.
Yeah, well, that's this week in music.
We could have had that.
If we can get it.
Week in
music. Okay.
All right.
Finishing more technical difficult.
So also this week in music, I have a turntable now at home. I can play vinyl. I can play vinyl.
Yes.
So yeah,
Hey. You want to borrow? Bruce Springsteen? I got Bruce.
I have
here.
Brucey. I have Bruce.
I
have Bruce. But I should get some of his older stuff. I got a couple of favorites from way back. But the interesting thing about the system was I ended up getting it from the boys at Clarington Audio. Shout out Clarington Audio. Actually, this show is sponsored by Clarington Audio. They gave me a deal.
No guest.
No,
they
could have come on the show, but no, because they've just opened up because they've been dealing with the COVID lockdown and stuff like that. So I called them up, and I think I was one of the first customers in the door, and I said, I need a turntable, I need an amplifier, and some speakers. So we're up and running now.
Right.
I'm supposed to be building a room on the back of our house for this little area to listen to music, but
the music room.
But I can't wait for that. I have to go out and buy the shit and bring it up. That's got to be first. Like we were saying earlier, you know, it's like buying seat covers before you get your driver's license. So I got the vinyl. So then I sent Lisa a picture of, because they're bookshelf speakers, and I sent her a picture of speaker stands. And she says, I don't want those in the living room. So we were going back and forth. So there was different styles, and so then I came home. She goes, I really don't want those in the living room. And I said, what the hell's wrong with the speaker stands? So anyways, then I had to, in order to get the speaker stands beside the fireplace, I had to push the wall units further apart because they're like 10 inches. So she's like, I'm thinking, oh my God, like they don't even fit in the space where I thought they'd go. And then, but then I noticed that the room was starting to look and feel bigger. And I thought, this is amazing. They were too close before, so this has kind of opened up. So then I put them there, and she kept coming in and looking at them. So I think Saturday, so that was Friday. So Saturday night we sat down, we had some wine, and we listened to records. It was sounding great. So she's kind of
warming up.
She's okay with it. Yeah, she's okay with it now, but the room has to get done soon so they can go in there. But I'm now.
The room isn't getting done soon, is it?
It is. It is.
Oh,
because I'm going to need the room to live in.
It has to, yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. So yeah, it's great to have playing vinyl again.
Nice.
It is one of the things. It's one of the most mind-boggling things having vinyl, because you think in today's world it would sound better digitally, like a CD or. I mean, technically a CD's getting up there, but like even like streaming off your phone, you think with the technology you wouldn't need vinyl anymore. But I started reading up on the reason why vinyl still sounds better. Some say it's got depth because it's kind of like when you go to the movies, and you know how they still have film at the movies. Actually, I think they still do, because the film actually shows the depth on the screen. And then people like that. Then they shoot it at 24 frames per second. But the thing with, there's so much data on a vinyl album that in order to get all of that information on a CD, the CD would have to be really big. So you can't stream the amount of data. That's why vinyl still has that ability to sound great, except for the snap, crackle, and pop. I gotta get.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
give your records a good clean, and you're good to go.
Get a bathtub.
I mean, and it's working. It's working off of the sound vibrations as well, which is a natural way of producing sound instead of a bunch of ones and zeros and code and reproducing it. So, yeah, nothing beats vinyl.
Nope. So people
even when there was no vinyl, I was still buying vinyl. Or I would go downtown. Incredible Records was my favorite down on Yonge Street. It hasn't been there for years, but I held off on CDs for as long as I could. So I preferred vinyl.
Yeah, I thought
never
CDs
stopped.
was the future, but then I get frustrated now, even with a good pair of earbuds on your phone and you're trying to listen to music while you're working or something like that. It's terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah.
It's the amplification.
I mean,
it's the amplification of the sound too is very, very important, and that today doesn't exist in your phone, in your earbuds.
Exactly.
So people just don't listen to music right, and I think the problem maybe today as well is, are they now producing music or mastering or mixing it to sound good in those environments? Because really, that's what you do, right? When you're putting out an album, you kind of master it to what your audience is going to listen to it on.
Right. So a lot of music is mastered, for the different formats. I mean, mastered for iTunes, mastered for CD, mastered for Spotify, and then mastered for vinyl, whatever. So.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
I notice a huge difference. I have my iPod and I have, 4 billion songs on there that I just put on shuffle, if I'm lying in bed at night or if I go for a walk or whatever. But it doesn't come close to sitting down and putting on that record and, turning it up, and you get that feel and that vibe, and it's just so much better.
Well, you're hearing everything they put into
it. Totally. Yeah.
You're just immersed in it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just fantastic. Nothing beats it.
But again, I don't think the younger generation do the same. They don't immerse themselves in an album or it's totally different.
Well, they don't put out an album now, right? And now they're putting out, like most people, even independent artists, the first thing they do is they might create a 5-song, 6-song album, but they put out one song on Spotify. Let it play. Then they put out another one. So there's at the end of the day, there's really no rhyme or reason to those 5 songs. They're just
right.
But when I grew up listening to albums,
there was concept.
Yeah,
concept
like you would decide though, even if it wasn't a concept album, you pick up the album and you have to decide, am I going to listen to side A or B or 1 or 2? What side first? And each side usually had a different vibe.
Yep.
So you kind of
side A first.
Are you side A first all the time?
You can't. Yeah, I can't start with side B. That's just wrong.
Well, you know what I used to do? Like sometimes I'd play an album before I went to bed. So when I was a teenager, I'd put my headphones on and lay in bed, and I'd have to decide what side I wanted to fall asleep to.
Fall asleep to, yes. Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what? There was that one song on side 1 that you wanted to hear, and then there was that one song on side 2 you wanted to hear. But then we thought cassettes were going to change all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Well, the whole mixtape thing, it was fun. I mean, there's those albums where you have, all those songs that you love, and then there's that 1 or 2 songs that are just kind of filler, and I could do without that. Oh, let me make my mixtape. Just take those out of there, and start. That was a lot of fun. But
so I used to DJ in the 80s, early 80s. So in my record collection, I have a bunch of 12-inch singles. So Saturday night, I said to Lisa, I said, you got to hear some of this stuff. Some of the stuff like Vogue by Madonna, like 12. I think they're on there's 3 or 4 different versions of Vogue. And then I had Rocket by Herbie Hancock. Which I did.
I remember breakdancing to that.
He reposted on Instagram my post the other day, or his helper. Whoever does his Instagram. So I thought that was pretty cool. He never sent me any money, but yeah, no, it's man, there was some great Parachute Club, Rise Up, all that stuff. There was so much. It was like trying to. I have a AC/DC All Night Long dance mix version.
The dance, yeah. There's a Who Made Who dance version.
Yeah, there was all that stuff.
The 80s was full of all these 12-inch remixes and dance mixes.
Michael Jackson and Steely Dan Do It Again, all blended together.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh,
It was good dance.
Lots of fun.
Yeah. So now I got to go to the vinyl store and buy some vinyl that I don't have for no apparent reason. It's kind of it's like collecting China. It's like, I got to go buy some Royal Dalton. I'm going to go buy some vinyl. There might be one in there like a treasure. Well, you're treasure hunting, really, because you go through and then all of a sudden you see one that you completely forgot about, and you can actually take it home with you. It's kind of neat.
Yep.
Yeah. The last
things are running again. I can't wait for the record shows to start up again.
That's right. Oshawa used to have one.
Oh yeah, the Oshawa one is great. There's a few in Scarborough, a couple downtown.
But albums,
I'm missing them.
Then you would open them up, and you had the lyrics. You had the lyrics, and then you had posters sometimes, and then you would have all that.
Tattoos.
And that's how you got your information. But that's how you got your information on what the band was up to. You would read through all the credits and stuff, and you found, he produced this with so and so. Now you just Google it. But that was it was that and the radio was your only connection to what that album was about. That's it. Other than that, and then all of a sudden you would watch a show and you got a little bit of insight or that was it. That's the only way you found out about what was going on in the band and how they
That's right. Yep.
Now you have sites called Song Meaning where you can Google the song and everyone posts in there what they think the song's about.
Yeah, you see, I stay away from those on purpose. Because when I hear a song and if the song moves me or if I really, really like it and it has a meaning to me, I don't want to know any other meaning. And I especially don't want to know and I don't want to know the actual meaning of the song.
I love knowing the real meaning of the song.
I mean, I'm curious, but it'll ruin it, because it has a special meaning to me. And I don't want to lose that.
I think it's like reading a book and not finding out what happens at the end if you don't know. Because I think some are puzzling for me, so I want to know.
Oh yeah, if there's a song where you just you're listening to it and you go, I have no fucking idea what this is about. This is insane.
Like, don't worry, be happy.
No sense. Then you can maybe check it out if you just have no clue. But
yeah,
I don't know.
But I guess songs can apply to each individual. But I'm trying to think of one. So when I was in. I played an album the other day, Eric Carmen, and he wrote the song All By Myself, which obviously Celine Dion made a big hit out of. So in grade 7, we had to do music appreciation, and we had to pick a song. We would play it in the class, and then everyone would get a lyric sheet, and we would have to go through and explain what the song was about. So I did that song because I was grade 7. My dad must have had the album and I loved the song. So yeah, I played that the other night, which was a great album. And he was in the Strawberries back in I don't know if you remember the Strawberries before back in the day. Well, the Raspberries. No, Strawberries. Was it the Raspberries? There was
Name all the fruits.
Some kind of berry.
It was the Raspberries. It was the Raspberries because there was a band also called the Strawbs. What's with these fruits? I mean, all you need is a band to name an album, a record label after an apple or something, and then you're all set.
Well, done.
Oh yeah, that's done. Music and fruit. Oh my God! Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Now you know what happens to my brain. Now I'm thinking of all the other bands that had a fruit in their name. Did you ever do that?
Alarm.
Did you ever do that when you were younger? We used to do that.
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream. We used to do that. We would say, okay, name a band that's got a fruit in it, for example, and then you would have to sit there and figure it out. Like, it's just. must be a
Of course,
sour.
I can't think of any others now. The only
I
other
can think
one
of songs like
is
the
Hot
Lemon
Chocolate,
song,
and that's not
Hot Chocolate. No, well, I guess cacao. But we used to do that with like animals. We used to do that animals. Like then you get into the eagles, the monkeys, and the
Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what Buffalo Springfield was named after? Do you guys know? Music trivia. Do you know? What is a Buffalo Springfield?
I used to know this.
It's a make of a tractor.
Maybe I didn't know this.
It's a make of a tractor. They named it. They named it after a make of a tractor. Buffalo Springfield was a maker of tractors. Buffalo Springfield. That's pretty. They were out there.
Wild Cherry.
Wild Cherry? Are you googling?
Oh, who would know?
I have that album.
Wild Cherry, you have that?
Play that funky music.
Blind Melon.
Blind Melon.
Oh, how did
Moby Grape.
Moby Grape. Oh, there must be more. There must be tons. This would be good to do. This would be good to do at the grocery store.
What? Just go to the grocery store?
Just point out fruits.
Well, here's the electric prunes.
The electric prunes?
The raisins.
Oh, hold on.
Electric prunes.
They got to be.
Cranberries. Smashing pumpkins.
Cranberries.
Yeah. Right?
Smashing pumpkins. There's so many.
Yeah. And if anybody else out there knows any, send them
Put them in the comments. Actually, we should pick a topic and see if anyone can comment. What would be another one?
Here. Kelly said cranberries. Yep, she got that one.
Oh, cranberries.
How could we forget cranberries and Smashing Pumpkins?
Better check there's none there. Cranberries, Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, we used to do that all the time. But when I was back in the day when I was working in working with my dad, a bunch of the guys we work with, that's all what we did. We listened to CFDR, or actually probably listened to maybe Chum FM, but it was all guessing the song. It was all like guess the song. It was like because they would constantly be playing different songs, especially on the AM channels. And then they're throwing a tricky one once in a while, right? You'd have to figure out the tricky one, like you'd be an old classic or whatever. But yeah,
that was part of the fun.
But you know what I did play earlier today? Police. Was it Zenyatta Mondata? Zenyatta? Was it that? Yeah. I forget how good that record was. Like that kind of gets shadowed a little bit because of the other ones. But man, there were some grooves in that album. Wow, just solid.
Yeah, that's a great album,
especially when you turn it up. I gotta listen to it with my headphones on more often too, because you get a completely different feel.
True. Yeah. Do you guys remember Headphones Only?
Yes.
It was a spot on Q107. I think it was.
I think it was either Q or Chum. Yeah.
One of the two. It might have been Chum FM now.
Well, I remember when Q107 first went on the air. I remember when that happened.
77, I think. Yeah.
And we used to listen to music like that's all we did was listen to records. That's all we did. It was crazy. And then you go to the record store, so you'd hear like on Saturday, Supertramp Breakfast in America is coming out. So you would actually go to your favorite record store and wait in line to get it. Yep. We used to line up at Zounds. You remember? Did they have Zounds when you were?
Zounds. That's familiar. I remember Zounds.
It was at Eglinton Avenue, just in Scarborough, and it was, I don't know what else it was called, and it wasn't a Sam's, but
there was a big A&A's on Eglinton as well.
Maybe it was. It was sat by itself on the north side near the near the Swiss Chalet, and actually I think the Bare Naked Ladies did something there. They released an album there.
They did. They did.
They released an album there.
They did a part of their video, one of their first videos, I think, there, if I remember right.
Well, they did Lovers in a Dangerous Time. They did another one, but I think they did it driving around the streets there. Lovers in a Dangerous Time. I think you actually see the music store.
Yes, I think it was that one.
We used to line up there for concert tickets. I remember getting Genesis tickets there, lining up.
Yeah.
But I used to buy concert tickets of a guy, had a business card. His name the company was Try Tickets. T-R-I, and he sold everything. And this is going back to very early 80s, and I would have been 18, 19 years old. This guy would deliver tickets to your house, drive them to you. And I remember buying 4 Michael Jackson tickets for the Victory Tour at the C&E Stadium. And because I had a job back then where I had some money, so they were $75 a piece, and they were 14th row center stage at the C&E Stadium.
Nice.
And the guy delivered them to your door. So for $300, you imagine trying to get, well, pretty hard to get Michael Jackson tickets now. But I don't even know if anyone who compares to Michael Jackson right now. Is there anybody? Don't say Drake.
No.
God.
Oh no.
Maybe popularity. Like if he was to come to the Air Canada Centre, he's probably a big fetch.
Mm-hmm.
So what would it cost to buy a 14th row center stage for Drake?
$1,000.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would.
But now you can buy the whole package now, where you get to meet
the meet and greet
you buy.
and
If you have a rich parent, you're meeting the band, or it's just ridiculous.
My mother
crazy.
won Madonna tickets for her Trust Yourself tour, I think, and I took my sister. That was a good concert, and they were floors. That was I think 98.1. She won tickets.
Right.
And,
Nice.
I saw the Who. With Joe Cocker.
Wow.
No, not Joe Cocker. Joe Jackson.
Oh, Joe Jackson.
So Joe Jackson.
Yeah. I'm the man.
Well, he opens for the Who, which was really weird because I thought they'd be compatible. Well, the Who fans wanted nothing to do with them.
Hated them. Yeah.
Right, of course.
So we got there early. They were general admission. We sat down halfway. By the time the concert started, we were getting sprayed with the hose at the front. We were so close because everyone pushed forward. We were on the front page of the Toronto Sun. That's how close we were because they took a picture. And people were throwing shit at the band. The keyboard got hit with an orange, splattered all over the keyboard. We were so close. And someone got hit with a liquor board. Someone got hit by a liquor bottle. And it was a disaster. The Joe Jackson part was, then the Who came out and... But there was fights. It was terrible. It was
crazy,
absolutely insane concert.
One band I've actually never seen is the Who, and I regret it. Never.
I saw them also at the Air Canada, not the Air Canada Center, Maple Leaf Gardens, I guess it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a lot of hype. Actually, the only band I wish I'd have seen Pink Floyd. I never saw Pink Floyd. Never got to a Pink Floyd concert. Never made it. I don't know why. But I saw a lot. We used to go all the time.
Yeah. Saw them in '94, without Waters. I've seen Waters solo. I've seen Gilmore solo, So I guess it kind of
the whole
makes up the whole thing.
You saw them all kind of separate.
Saw them all,
Just
they played some of the same songs, so I guess it counts.
Oh, we were saying earlier too. I have to buy a dog leash for my dog. I don't know how that ties into albums. Oh, I guess it ties into animals. Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd's Animals.
Yeah. But
which is all about people.
Yeah, Charlie's leash has broke, so I couldn't take him for a walk today. It was too hot. And he expects a walk every day. He's like a little kid that just follows you around asking for this. So tomorrow he's going to go to PetSmart.
Spike.
But like I was thinking, if you take your dog to PetSmart, does the dog have to wear a mask? They can't get it though.
Well,
they can't get coronavirus, can they?
I have no idea.
I heard they can carry it. Someone told me way back. Aren't you guys up on the coronavirus?
Not with dogs, no.
Tim should be in his little tinfoil room there. I love that tinfoil room.
Hey, my spaceship. Hey, you got to come finish it, buddy. So.
Oh, jeez.
He's blocking out the aliens.
I'm not going there. I won't be able to get my 5G service down there. Oh, 5G. Yeah, I think Home Depot now is letting 200 people in at the store at once. 200 people.
Really?
They went from 75 to 200. But I was talking to somebody at the BOAA, which is the Bowmanville Older Adults Association today. Shout out to Angie and the gang at the Older Adults Center. we're supposed to do a recording there with. I'm recording, I guess, their play. They were going to do a play, but they can't do it, so they're going to turn it into a podcast. But
Right.
they're only allowed to have 10 people in the building at once. That's a pretty big building, but they're only allowed 10 people in the building. But Home Depot can have 200 people in it.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes perfect sense. Home Depot's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, is your daughter? She's a dentist, correct?
Yes.
Now, is she back to work?
Yes. Just.
So, why can you go get your teeth cleaned or go see a dentist, which is one of the most you're the most exposed, yet you can't get your hair cut?
I know. Well, I think
things that make you go.
Okay. Well, here's what I think about. Here's what they may be thinking. A dentist has taken all these precautionary measures already to kind of keep, like, from getting, like, they wear gloves already. They wear face shields already. They wear masks. Every time I go, maybe only when I go, they put the mask on.
But they don't. They're not. I'm sure your daughter. They don't have to wear an N95 mask, which is crazy. My sister's a hygienist as well, and she just went back to work today, and yet they're not mandated to wear an N95 mask. Now they have to wear the shield and the other I'm not sure what the mask is called, but yet they don't have to wear an N95, which doesn't make sense. Now I know they're two different governing bodies, right? The dentists versus the hygienists, correct?
Oh God, I don't know. You're asking
I think
the wrong
so.
guy.
I don't know.
I think there's two totally separate bodies.
Well, I don't think. I'm from England. I don't think teeth cleaning is essential service. It's not in our blood. Oh God. But I do go on a regular basis now because our daughter makes me go, so I have to go get my teeth cleaned. It's all North American frickin' conspiracy shit. It's like 5G. But no, I thought twice a year was crazy. Now that I was going to Durham College, and that was a frickin' ordeal. I'm telling you. I was one of her first patients. So that was torture, man.
I did the same for my sister.
Oh, did you really?
I did.
But the worst part for me was I was sitting there, and I could tell that she was afraid to dig too hard. So she was doing it very, very soft. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, you got to dig harder. But didn't want to say nothing. Well, then I went back. By the time I went back was like her second semester, and she had frickin' figured it out. Well, I thought she was going too hard now. So maybe she was getting everything she missed the first time. But, yeah, it was brutal. Oh, my God. And then, but I have my beef with dentists. I think now so what I was going to say was they want you to come 3 times a year now.
Well, they want you to come every week, but
they want you to come. I mean, especially if you got
seriously.
I don't have insurance, but if you got insurance, you're the cash cow. Like they'll bleed you. Oh, you need X-rays. You need this, or we could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I haven't had to have a filling in forever, so that's good.
I have never had a filling.
Oh,
never.
Never.
You don't know what you're missing, man.
I've never had a cavity.
Get stoned up. But I broke both my teeth when I was a kid. So they got smashed up. And back then we went to a dentist that was frickin' dentist of horrors. Like this guy was a freak. Like I was God forbid if this guy
marathon man dentist.
I don't think I've ever been sexually assaulted. But if I was put under, there's a good chance that guy freaking assaulted me. He was a weird guy. I don't know. He's long dead now. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was a freaking evil freak. He'd get mad at you. Like, he was weird. But, yeah, he was a freak.
Have you got some unresolved dentist things from when you were a kid? You're still working out?
Yeah, that's why every time I brush my teeth, I start everything starts shriveling up. I don't know what it is.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
no wonder
God.
he's so apprehensive to go to the dentist. All these memories.
Yeah. But no, he was, and I used to say, why are we? And I guess we came from England, so it was like I had broke. I think I told this on the Caffeinated Couple podcast, but the day before we were coming to England, I fell and broke my tooth. It was a second tooth, so that's it. So they raced me to some sort of dental place. It was pretty nice dental office. And what they did was they had to make a double cap because they couldn't make a single one in time. So they made a double cap that went right over my teeth, and it was a big yellow thing. So here I am, come to Canada, get off the plane, frickin' Beaver. Boom! You need a nickname, Beaver.
Hey, you're
So
in the
I
right
was
country for
Beaver.
that.
I was Beaver right off the bat, and then so they took us to a dentist, and the doctor said, "Well, if the one tooth is good underneath, we could actually take this cap, cut it in half, and just have one of the caps." Well, I think that was frickin' worse because now you got one big cap and you got the good tooth, and so now. I'm out playing one day, and we're playing soccer. We lived on an apartment building next to the 43 police department. Remember the 40? We lived near the 43 Division Police Department on Lawrence Avenue, and they had the
I think I've
ravine
been
there. And I fell right on the ledge, and I had blood in my mouth. The kids ran me upstairs. My mom looks at it. She goes, "Oh, I broke my tooth." She goes, "So hopefully it's the cap." Well, it wasn't. It was the other tooth. So both teeth were done. So then they finally capped them up. But I had a bad habit of putting nails all the years working, and I would always put nails in my mouth, like when I was hammering. Like I'd put the nails in my mouth and hold them there. Like
As you're older,
some
doing,
people,
okay, I was gonna say.
some people use a pouch. No, I fucking stick everything in my mouth. So I got all these, and I'm nailing them on. But I would chip them all the time. So then I just stopped going to the dentist. But they get kind of all whacked out. But I gave up. I don't care anymore. I'm too old to worry about it. But yeah, going to the dentist. So now it's my. But you know what it did? The dentist told me I only have a mustache because I'm too lazy to shave. But the dentist told me that if I have a mustache, it will hide the fact that because my teeth had pushed out, I never got braces because British people don't go to the dentist. But the mustache hides the bump. It's true. It's fucking terrible genetics.
The Book of British Teeth.
Oh man, it's just.
Please send your comments and emails to Mark Robinson directly.
Yeah, we're gonna start a protest. Oh, English teeth matter. Frickin' hell, poor. So, are they still? Is there still riots going on? Like, are they rioting? I think the rioting has stopped now. Has it? Like they're still protesting.
There's still protests.
Yeah, but I think that rioting thing died down, right? I think. I think
there's nothing left to burn and nothing left to
no,
steal,
but I think it kind of like it was. But I think that was the frustration though of everything just piling up.
Absolutely.
And then the looters go out and get their stuff. I mean that happens at a Stanley Cup win though.
Oh yeah, it
The
happens.
looters come out. The looters come out. It's opportunity. They're waiting for it. Yeah.
Totally.
Vancouver, I think, was the last time we had it here. I think Vancouver. Well, they did trash Steve's music in Montreal recently, right?
Montreal, yep.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What time is it? 9:43. Tuesday night. Oh.
Yep.
So what are you guys up
Any
to all week?
comments?
Anything exciting? Not on my side.
No.
I think everyone's afraid now because they're afraid to come on. We've bashed dentists. Dentists have taken a hard kick. Oh man. You know what we need to talk about though one day is affordable housing. It's got incredibly insane. Affordable housing is I'm starting a frickin'
There's such a thing.
It's just crazy. Like I've been talking to so many people have been messaging me because of the tiny houses. People are messaging me. Where can I put them? And I go, you can't put them anywhere, really. Like you could sneak one in somewhere, but I think that's the movement we need. I think we need to frickin' because our daughter was just trying to rent a house, like a place to live. And they ended up, her and her boyfriend and another couple found a place in Curtis, fairly nice place, $2,400 a month.
Oh.
$2,400 bucks. But if you divide it between 4 people, it's okay. But you imagine now if you're a family, if you're a young family and you need a house, so it's okay with your friends, right? Like, it's okay if you get a group of friends together and you can get it. But they were having such a hard time just getting it because people were upbidding on the rent to get it. It was insane. And
is there such a shortage on rental units?
Yes,
or?
there is. There's especially out this area. There's nowhere. There's no places to rent. I mean, there's some places you might not want to live in depending on your situation. So what happens is you end up having to take, like, even an apartment building downtown Oshawa is going to cost you like $1,600. Like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment is going to be $1,600.
At least.
Yeah, a small apartment, like one of those smaller 3 or 4 level things. You're not getting much for $1,600. You'd be thinking you'd be getting a palace, but you're not. So
no, not at all.
And I think the thing is, just some people don't have a lot of money, but they want something clean. They want something safe, and it's impossible. You can't find it. You can't find it anywhere. So I don't know. I mean,
it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
but that's why I was saying, like, why can't we have tiny homes for somebody who can't afford a mortgage but doesn't want to pay that much a month? So if they could pay $500 a month and they bought a tiny home, so let's say buy a tiny home and it has to be 4 seasons. So that's what I've been building, the 4 seasons ones. So if you build something that you can put on a farmer's property, even if you can plug it into hydro, would be fantastic. You can have compost toilet, you can have all that, you can have it heated. And let's say you paid $500 a month for the land spot. Then you could even help out around the property. You could cut the grass, and you could create a little community. So someone's got, like, even if someone had 40, 50 acres, what's wrong with you having, like, 1 acre off to the side? That's 4 times the size of my lot. I got people all beside me. Why can't he have somebody on his property stuck in the corner that's minding their own business, living a sustainable life because they don't have, like, a septic tank? They're using a proper compost toilet. They're doing all that. They're living in a good environment. They're breathing the fresh air, but the city doesn't want it. The city won't allow you to do it. So my plan is, and I get more and more people messaging me all the time, but we're about to have a meeting where we're gonna go to the city. I was supposed to go to the city in April, or actually March 21st. I was supposed to have a meeting, actually March 18th. I was gonna have a meeting with them. It was all booked. I had sent them my presentation. They canceled it because of COVID. Then they pushed it to April the 21st.
Right.
That got canceled again, and I haven't even heard back from them now when they're opening back up. But my point was, go there and say, okay, here's what we want to do or people need. Why will you not allow it? Tell me, give me a good enough reason why. And then I was going to turn around and go to the general public through social media, through video and whatnot, and say, okay, this is what this community says you cannot do because of this. I think that's the only thing. They have to give you a reasonable reason why they won't allow it. And I think the main thing is tax money. They don't want it looking trashy. Which if you buy a tiny home between $50,000 and $100,000 and you're a young person or an old person, I don't think it's going to look trashy. You're going to look after it. You're in a different type of mind frame because you're not right. Yeah, it's not for everybody either. But you're not going to put a family of 4 in one. You can't. So I think they don't want a shanty town. That's what they don't want. They don't want tent city. But because they have a couple of trailer parks around and they don't want that anymore. So I think, but the thing is, farmers right now are suffering so bad. They can't keep their land. Look, they're having all kinds of trouble right now because they can't sell their product. And and it's probably, whether it's a good year or a bad year, they struggle. So they're having to sell their land to developers. But the government won't allow developers to build on it, but they'll still let them buy it. So they wait 15 years. They wait 15 years. Then they can. They get it a great deal. And what they've been doing is selling the land. They've been selling the land to the developer, and the developers in turn letting them still live there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just getting the cash for it, so they can live and they go away, and maybe it works out good for them, but it's just destroying the community.
Yeah,
they're just gonna build these little, brick houses everywhere. So, comedy, chords, and chaos. There's nothing funny about the frickin' housing thing. Oh, but it's chaos though. It's just chaotic. Like if you had 100 acres legally, you can't let me live on it in a trailer. To me, that's not fair. Who are you to tell me what I can do with my land? They got you. Yep. It's absolutely disgusting.
Because they're not making any money off of it. That's exactly it.
So what tax? Put a tax. Put the same tax you would put on a guy living in an apartment building. I mean, if you had to pay, let's say you had to pay $1,000 a year tax to live in a tiny house. Big deal. Hit me up.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's $1,000. I pay $3,000 tax in a house, so I'll pay a third of it to live in a tiny house. If that's what you want money? Here, take it.
Yeah.
But it's still affordable.
No, totally.
But yeah,
totally affordable. But compared to what's out there now.
But these guys don't make. I won't get into it now. But they don't make rhyme or reason when you go to one of the meetings. None of these guys. They make shit up. They just make this stuff up. They have nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. The rules are. They pick them out of a hat. Honestly. They do.
Yep. They just talk in circles.
And Mark, I just resent you the Oshawa City Council meeting that Tiny House Oshawa had with them.
Right.
I sent it to you a while ago. I don't remember if you ever read it. Yeah,
I think I did.
But it's just so disheartening to read this, And again, I can send it to you, Mark, too, if you want to read it. But
sure.
It just doesn't make sense.
Well, they had here. I went to a meeting, and I actually told this story today to somebody. But I went to a meeting in Newcastle about farmers. They wanted to have events on their property, like have weddings. We had to get permits and put a wedding and whatever. Because you can do it. There's a couple of places. There is one for sure. There is another one apparently, but I don't think they're operational, that are allowed to have events on their property. One is Bloomfields in Newcastle. So people are saying, well, why can't we? And they said, okay, well, if you all want to do it, we got to put some regulations together. So they said you can only use 2% of your land for it. So if you had 100 acres, you could use 2 acres. You have to build all the stuff. You have to have bathrooms. You have to have water. You have to have all this stuff. Now, they dictate where you put this on your land. They look at the land and they pick a good spot based on the roads, the entrance, and all this. Because God forbid you did it yourself. So they tell you this. So all of a sudden, they pick a spot that's probably not very good for you to have water. So you got to put another well. You got to do all this extra shit. You got to build a building. And you got to include it in that 2 acres is parking. So then the question at the meeting, someone asked the person running the meeting, said, well, how many people could you have at an event? And they said maximum 150 people. So everyone was like, what? At a wedding? 150 people? And now all the other bylaws are in place here. So you got to have 11 o'clock shut off. So it can't go past 11. No noise or you fall into bylaw. Yep. So you can't have... because they're worried about parking and neighbors complaining and all that kind of stuff, right? Which, okay, that's fine. If they're breaking the law after the fact, then that's fine. So they said, how did you come up with 150 people or head count? Because a caterer has 10. A band might have 3 or 4. And then the photographer, the DJ, and all these other people the wedding planner, geez, we're probably up to 30 people yet. Now you got a guest there. So she said, well, she goes, I like big weddings, so I had figured 400 people would be good. But so-and-so over there on the other side of the room is not big on big events. And they only had like 100 people at their wedding. So we came to the agreement that 150 would be a good number. And I fucking kid you not, that was the reasoning why they came up with 150 people maximum at a bylaw.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That is not
It really
democracy. That is absolutely ridiculous. When you hear that, you just give up. You just feel like putting a bullet in the side of your head and saying, there's no point me coming to these meetings. I give up. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous that these clowns can make these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like they put them in a room and they go, I could just see them. They're sitting in a room going, oh, well, what do you think's a good number? Oh, we had 400. I think, well, that's a lot of people. Do you think 400 people on a property? Maybe we should go less than that. I only had I can't believe it.
Yeah,
why don't we ask?
And these
why
are the jokers who are running
people,
everything.
Why don't we ask people and get their input? Oh, well, no, we won't do that. We'll have a meeting 2 weeks before the bill goes into place, and we'll say if they have anything they want to say, they're more than welcome to stand up. But too late.
Mm-hmm.
Too late.
That's a joke. It's really unfair. Yeah. It's unfair that everybody, and then they wonder why people don't give a shit. You know.
Yep.
Okay, let's end it up. Let's
got him all right.
I gotta go take blood pressure pills now. Why do I only have to take blood pressure pills on Tuesday nights? I don't know. No, this is turned into like freaking a soapbox.
Go walk your dog.
You can't. There's a few people watching right now. There's some thumbs up and there's some laughing and there's a oh my god. Yeah. But no, I'm not walking the dogs. I'm gonna.
You can't walk the dog. You don't have a leash. Go spin some vinyl.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to spin some vinyl. Anyways, guys, it's been great. We'll see you next week. Next week we have a guest. I gotta see who we got. Oh, we got Cassidy Jane.
We'll have a guest next week.
So next week we have Cassidy Jane. We're gonna let Dylan Island get better. We're gonna we'll piggyback him to the end, and we have Cassidy Jane. She's how can I describe her music? Tim, what do you say? A little bit 70-ish, kind of got a nice hippie groove.
Edge. Yeah. And with some edge.
Yeah, with some edge. Yeah. Got a nice acoustic feel. Got a nice open sound lead guitar thing going on. It's very open sounding music. Very Tom Petty-ish. Nice. So a great young artist. Tim and I have both seen her perform at the Manantler. Shout out to the Manantler. They deliver you beer. So you can get your beer delivered by Manantler. So there you go. So, all right, guys. Mark, Tim, thank you so much. Thank you, guys, for listening. And we will see you Tuesday.
Next week.